Well, it's been all of 3 months since the last one, so it's about time we heard a new rumor about where Jimmy Hoffa is buried. This one, again, comes from an aging alleged mobster who told a Detroit TV station that Hoffa is buried in an Oakland County field about 20 miles from the Red Fox restaurant where he was last seen in 1975. 85-year-old Tony Zerilli says he heard about the burial spot while he was in jail and that the original plans called for the body to be moved, but that never came about. Back in October, an extensive search was held in the suburban Detroit neighborhood. As you could guess, nothing was found. Well, a new tenant moving into Bridgewater Place in downtown Grand Rapids. First at 5, more cop cars, more ambulances, more shots fired on Grand Rapids southeast side, and another young man is hospitalized tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tim Doty.
And I'm Michelle DeSalms. The violence prompting community outcry, protests, and a lot of discussion about the overall safety in parts of Grand Rapids.
Here's what's happened in the last 24 hours alone. This afternoon, a 21-year-old man was shot in the stomach at Eastern and Franklin Southeast. He is in critical condition. Late last night, a man was killed while walking down a sidewalk on Sweet Street, that's on Grand Rapids northeast side. Also on Monday, the family of one of the first people killed in this recent string of shootings offered a reward in the search for the person who killed their loved one.
The young woman was assaulted and bound before breaking free. We've
also discovered that her attacker left a cryptic message on his Facebook page before he was killed. It's a chilling story that we've been updating all day long at fox17online.com. All of this began on the CMU campus late last night. There are at least 2 other crime scenes around Mount Pleasant, and everything came to a head after a police chase. We have 4 different crews looking into the different angles tonight. Jen Dowling is live in Mount Pleasant after checking out the man's lengthy criminal past. But we begin with Fox 17's Courtney Perna live at Central Michigan University. Elderly man from Benton Harbor is dead after a crash on I-94. It happened around 7:30 in Watervliet Township. Police say 87-year-old Robert McCoy was rear-ended by another vehicle. He was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. The women and 2 passengers in the other car were also hurt but are expected to recover. Police are still investigating at this point but say weather was not a factor in the crash. No word yet if any charges will be filed. The Detroit man charged with stealing his father's body and storing it in a freezer is facing up to 10 years in prison. 48-year-old Vincent Bright is being held on $75,000 bond after being charged with disinterment of a dead body. That's basically grave robbing. Police say that earlier in the week, he took his father's body from the casket and stored him in his freezer in the hopes that prayer would resurrect him. He is due back in court next week. Just a couple of days now until President Obama is officially sworn in for his 2nd term. And a school band from Detroit is getting ready to travel to the Capitol for that event. But he is talking about Manti Te'o instead of talking about Lance Armstrong.
You think Lance is going to send Manti some flowers?
Maybe.
That joke has been made before.
He should.
This is Teoing, right? Pretending you're sitting there with your girlfriend.
Not to be confused with Tebowing.
Right. Which is something
completely different.
By the way, only 2 people from different strokes have passed away. It was Gary Coleman and Dana Plato. Todd Bridges is still alive.
Yes.
I said 3.
You said 3.
Yeah, I said 3.
Is there somebody else?
No, I don't think so. But remember, what was Arnold's best friend's name? Remember that?
No.
The Gooch?
Dudley.
Dudley,
the Gooch was the bad guy.
Oh, that's right.
Dudley.
I cannot believe of all those people that Todd Bridges is the one still alive.
He has had a rough road.
He has. Yeah. He definitely has.
It's not about Mariah. It's all about the kids.
We'll see if that's true. And I hope the judges don't bicker too much. I hope we get to see some good singers. And wouldn't it be great to have
I hope we see some bad singers.
I don't like that.
Because that's why we watch the auditions, for the really bad.
Tomorrow night is Chicago, and so I'm guessing that's when we'll see, I mean, if there are people from West Michigan, that's most likely so.
And hopefully somebody will do tap dance as well.
I don't think they can do it as well as any of the Miss America contestants, though. Years and years, people visiting Central Park would sit on it, take pictures, hang out a little bit.
Yeah, but there's one thing they didn't know about that 18th century cannon. It was loaded. How about that? The cannon was nearly 100 years old when it was donated to the park, and it was part of a collection of artillery pieces that were on display from the 1860s until 1996. The stuff was then moved inside to protect it from the elements. Well, the cleaning crew recently made quite a discovery, and they took pictures of what they found. It was a cannonball, cotton wadding, and 800 grams of black powder. They were all still there 233 years after they were loaded in.
Seems like some people are pretty incompetent not to notice that for all these years.
Perhaps, but the police were lighthearted about the whole thing, saying, quote, "We silenced British cannon fire in 1776. We don't want to hear it again in Central Park."
I don't know. You never know when those Brits are going to come back.
Never know. I thought you were going to say it was Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh, yeah.
Give it time, though.
Yeah.
When this one is debunked, it'll end up somewhere else.
Absolutely, absolutely. We had 2/10 of an inch of snow today.
Woo, and people were driving crazy in it.
Yeah, it was like mayhem out there this morning. We've actually got a shot at some heavier snow next week. I can't imagine what it's going to be like.
Don't
things
tease
will
us,
shut
Rick.
down.
Don't tease us.
Okay.
All right, Jen, thanks. A Montcalm County man considered the fourth and final suspect in an August robbery in Cedar Springs has been arrested. 30-year-old Timothy Workema was picked up in connection to a robbery back on August 27th. In that incident, 3 people reported that a man with a full sleeve tattoo and rotting teeth came to their door asking to use a phone. He then allegedly barged in and held a sharp object to a man before taking off with money and cell phones. 2 other suspects had been previously arrested, and a 16-year-old girl was questioned. Bond for Workman was set at $75,000. He's due back in court January 25th. 3 shells, 4 shells, doesn't matter. He gets it every time. He's the shell game king. Let's get him on a street corner. Let's get him hustling out there. Now, what you didn't see is while Keto was playing the shell game, he had 3 other small cats come up and pick the pocket of the guy behind him there. I honestly would have shown it even if Keto didn't do the shell game because he's a
pretty
handsome
cute
cat.
Very nice cat, yep.
No. That's about as real as Manti Te'o's girlfriend. We'll have more on the incredible story.
Cash prizes are awarded to the people with the biggest python. Sorry, Hulk Hogan, you are not invited. It is believed that some of the creatures were once pets and were released when their owners thought they got too big. There was also a Hurricane Andrew, a hatchery was destroyed and some of the snakes got there. But they're eating rabbits, they're eating fox, they're eating all kinds of animals like that, and they're taking over. It's a month-long thing, so if you want to go, it goes till February 10th.
But you're not going to do it, are you? Are you doing that? Oh, okay, good.
We just wondered what method you would use.
I
if you shot him, or if you gig him, or bag him,
I
or
thought
what do you do?
you were actually chatting about perhaps we should go do this.
We were, and saying if we were in Florida, maybe we would go into strictly news. You were shaking your head there. You had something to say. You were shaking your head during the snowball. You were shaking your head.
It's all fun and games until somebody gets their eye, knocked out and everything. Glad we all got the memo. Gray suit day. We'll let Michael know.